The Infested should not be ignored. Remember, Nama didn't try touching Deimos. Yeah, that we know of. I mean, yeah, to be fair, you're right. Why, though? I don't think Ballas truly knew about Deimos. Because Ballas didn't even mention about the Intrati family. In the entire New War, Ballas never once said anything about the Intrati family. So I don't even think that he knew. I think the fact that Deimos is just a wandering rock, it's not even a planet, it's like at most maybe a small sized moon, if that, maybe even less, like a bigger version of an asteroid, infested asteroid. I think that made them harder to detect because it's not like one of the targets where Ballas was interested in. Or maybe if Ballas did know about the Intrati, although I don't believe he did because again he never mentioned it. Vass and Vern would rip Nama to shreds. Yes, they probably would. Doctor and Chaos, can you please vacate your Necromax from the goddamn bridge? I can't see where I'm flying. Stop teabagging my Excalibur, boy. I'm joking. But yeah, I think tactically, if Ballas knew about Deimos, I think he would have gone to it. Because what you got to remember is, what are in those vaults? Mother, grandmother, father, daughter and son are protecting something in those vaults. That's why they send us all the time. There's a reason they send us down to turn the vaults online. Remember what happened, guys. On Deimos, when they lost power, we kind of lost a bit of ourselves. There's something in those vaults that's powering us. I swear there is. It's the same with the Lotus. When what happened on New War, again, I'm trying to avoid spoilers. I know it's been out for some time now. But, you know, some people are at that point. We couldn't use the void energy in our operators. As soon as the Lotus went offline and she went into the void or whatever, or even, I think it was after that, yeah. When our operator tried to use their void glass on Ballas, couldn't do it. Had no energy. I think our powers are gifted to us through the void in the way that we thought there was. There's too much going on that suggests we are more like a symbiote with the Lotus. The Heart of Deimos is one of the things that gives us power. Exactly. You're telling me if Ballas knew about Deimos, he wouldn't be there to make sure we was truly powerless? Of course he would. That is a tactical advantage. If I was Ballas and I knew about Deimos, I would assault that with everything I had. Not because I am so cocky at the point of knowing that there's no tenor left to oppose me, but it's good to have a contingency. Every dictator has a contingency if things don't go their way, right? And for Ballas, it would be a really good tactical advantage in case he was challenged again by some people, or surviving tenor, or whatever. Got to remember, we're vast. You know, there's a lot of tenor. Wait, do we have to go back out now? Fair enough, I'll go back. He probably would try, he probably would fail, but you've got to remember, Ballas man controls the entire Warframe universe. In this universe, right? This is not talking about the Void and the infinite splits and different universes and parallel timelines. I'm not talking about that. I think it's possible he knew about Deimos but didn't try or thought them to be of no use. I believe he couldn't control the Infested, and I think he wouldn't care about the power because he basically won. He thought we were dead, he was cocky. Maybe he was. Maybe he was. But he never once in his lines of dialogue spoke about the Intrati family. The Intrati family are Orokin. Remember what he said, I am the last of my kind. He didn't know about the Intrati family. He did not know about Deimos. I do not think for 1 minute he knew about Deimos. If he did, his dialogue would be totally different. It really would be. It's all in his dialogue, guys, at the end. When he said about him being the last of his kind, or whatever. And, yeah. I truly believe that if he honestly knew about Deimos, yeah, I do feel like he would have attempted to go there. Of course he would. Why wouldn't he? You got to think about Ballas, guys, right? The people he cannot control, he eliminates. Infested will still be a threat. Infested are a hive mind. If he can't control that, he'll eradicate it with fire. Of course he will. Or he will use the infested in his work. Remember, Warframes are part infested. He uses infested flesh to create Warframes. So regardless, if he can't control everybody, he gets rid of those that he can't control. And again, I think that regarding the infested, he probably would see them more of a resource than either a hindrance or a thing of, hey, I want to control it. But yeah, I think that if something really happened to the Lotus, I think our backup would have definitely been Deimos. It kind of intrigues me how the Drifter works though. Like, I was going to say operates. I changed my wording. Because, again, remember the Drifter, what the Drifter said. That implies he can beat the Worm Gods first. Well, VGC, nothing is invincible. You got to think about that. Nothing lives forever. Nothing. There's always something better than that, right? And even though the Worm Gods will probably be like tough to beat, then there's probably still a way to defeat them. That's the way that things are written. There's never anything written in a lore that is 100% invincible. There's always a means and a way to defeat it. Even if Ballast didn't know about how to defeat the Worm Gods, doesn't mean that there isn't a way. They're immortal. But does that mean things that are immortal, like, can't die? Does a vampire not fear a stake? Or, in some lore, garlic? It can live forever. It's immortal by that term, but it has weaknesses. Immortal implies it lives forever. Immortal, I don't think, means it's invincible. Right? And yes, you're right. The Worm Gods, they just blow the heads off each other for fun. That's that cycle, right? I think that the reason why the Worm Gods are designed the way that they are is because Deimos has become not... It's like a higher plane of infested. I think that the reason why the Worm Gods are maybe invincible and the way that they regenerate is because when they like blow each other's heads off, it's... Think of Deimos not as an asteroid, but try and think of Deimos as an anatomy, right? Maybe the Vas and Worm, when it sprinkles across Deimos, that's the nutrients it needs to survive. That's the cells of Deimos, right? It's a material. There's a reason that... Oh shit, I put that down. There's a reason it does it in the first place. Why else would they blow each other's heads off? It's a material, it's a cell, it's a resource. Oh, we got it. Let's go, guys, we got it. You also have to remember, spoiler, he tried to destroy the sun, so... Whoa, my bot. So I think he was on a death course and was taking everything with him. Exactly, that is the character of Ballast. That is the character of Ballast. It's either he wins or nothing will be left standing. There'll be nothing but death. If he knows he's lost and he's got nothing left and he's got no control, he will opt the easy way out. And that means everybody's dead. That means everybody's dead. And that's why I agree with Kai on that one. That's why he would try to take out the sun. Now, what intrigues me more is Man in the Wall. I would fear Man in the Wall more than I would fear the Worm Gods. I think the Worm Gods, the way that they blow each other up and regenerate, is Deimos. Deimos is not a rock, it is alive. It is a body. It's an entity. Deimos is an entity. That's what you got to think about Deimos. like I said, I keep going back to it. There's a reason the worm gods are blowing each other up and then regenerating. Because if Deimos didn't need Worm or Vas or the residue that they secrete when they die or whatever, they wouldn't be in that constant cycle. They wouldn't be in that constant cycle because it would make no sense. That's like me regenerating an arm and saying, hey, or I'm going to pick on VGC, right? Me and VGC can regenerate our body part, I don't know, an arm or a head. And then me saying to VGC, hey, I've got an idea, I've got something that's fun. I'm gonna blow your head off. And then VGC are like, I did not want you to do that, did not mean to do that. Yeah, so there's no, why would you do something just because you can? You got to remember, like, everything there is a half man, it coexists. That's like having two parts, your left and right hemisphere in your brain, which I strongly believe that there is a cranium section on Deimos. In fact, when we go to Deimos, I'll try and do it on stream and I'll show you. It looks like a skull. And when you go into it, it's like a little cave. I don't know if you guys have seen it before. It's like a throat.
I call it my glob shot. It comes out of my trick hole.
I'll do it now. Let's go back to Dojo and I'll show you. I truly believe that Deimos isn't a rock. And I truly believe that Deimos is infested is unlike any other infested we have seen today.
We don't just shut down. We literally think ourselves to death.
Golem.
Fucking mood.
Yes, it has a hard man, but I think that Deimos is infested is at a higher plane. I truly believe that Deimos isn't just a rock, but it is a form. I think that the whole of Deimos is just one infested, and everything living there is technically its cells, and that's why it's able to do what it does. Welcome back. Welcome back, Chaos. Sorry guys, you're going to see some very unfinished stuff here. My apologies. So, Deimos. Let's go into the Cambium Drift. If you guys want to leave squad, it's fine. I'm just going to show this and I'll be gone. We'll squad back up. Oh, I love that ship. Cool ship, Doctor. Okay, so we're in the Cambium Drift. And I'm going to take you to something I first found when I played Deimos. You guys probably know about it already, but just in case you didn't, I'm going to show you. To be honest, Chaos, I should have been stopped streaming ages ago. Okay. This should be it. Let me just double check the map. Cerebrum. That's it. So this is the Cerebrum. And I think the cave is here. So I found this ages ago. When you come in, it's like a mouth, right? You've got the tongue and everything, or whatever it is that there, and then you've got the mandibles here, right? And then you've got, it's kind of like jaws in here. Everything's moving. And then when you go down, it's like the esophagus, your throat. You can't go down there, you'll spawn back up. I always thought DE would do something with this because it's so unique in terms of Deimos. It's a landmark. And when you look at what it's called, the Cranium Magna, oh, Cerebrum Magna. Cerebrum's basically your brain, right? I believe it is. So let me just put in the definition of cerebrum. I think it is, if I'm thinking it right. Yeah, cerebrum, the largest and uppermost portion of the brain. The cerebrum consists of the cerebral hemispheres and accounts for 2/3 of the total weight of the brain. Why would DE call this the Cerebrum Magna, and why would this be at the forward facing of the map, right? So what you got to think of is Deimos, oh, Doc's left. Deimos is obviously an asteroid or something like that. It's a rock, right? And it's free flying in space. And why name something the cerebrum magna? And the cerebrum's based on the brain. If Deimos isn't fully infested in terms of its like a body, I guess. So this is what made me think that Deimos isn't just a landmass of infested, and that the infested have grown wild and taken over everything. I think that this is the biggest infested creature that we have seen today, and the only difference why, in fact, the only reason why people don't see it this way is because we can free roam on it. We can go, we can explore, we can just do this like farm and stuff like that. We can get resources, but really all we are is a tick. We're like a flea on the scalp of a dog. Like, this is, I am in true belief. I could be wrong. I could be totally wrong, and you guys can think I'm chatting absolute nonsense, and I probably am. But this is the great thing about Warframe, is because in some aspects it leaves you to imagine. And yeah, everything on this, even when you look out into the distance in the Vista Grass or whatever that is, basically whatever the scene is out there. Sorry, I don't know what the word is for it. The scenery. There we go, scenery. It looks so hectic. It looks the classic infested. But when you look at the landmarks and what they're called, and then you start looking into them, like for example this one especially, it makes sense. It makes sense. But again, that's my belief. Well, not belief. That's my theory, should I say? That's my theory. If you guys want to carry on cracking relics, let me know, and we'll squad back up. I don't know how long I'm streaming for. I'm just enjoying the stream. Yes, I am way over my time, but I am enjoying the discussions that we're having, so I don't mind being on just a slightly bit longer. It is a rarity that I do this, and to be honest, I am enjoying the engagement of the viewers and the discussions that we're having. So it's a decaying moon. VGC, so you reckon Vars and Verm might be like weapons and the planet itself is a god? I wouldn't say a god, I would say an entity. I would definitely say entity. I don't know if it's a conscious entity, but again, when you look at the infested, it's a half-man, right? Everything thinks as one. Everything's got a purpose, everything's got a place. I do believe that Deimos, when you look at it, it does look creature-like. If you look, it's got eyes, it's got a mouth. Can you not see that? Can you not see, like, if you look at the front of Deimos, can you not see the eyes? Can you not see, like, it's looking like it's got a mouth? Can you not see, like, the body of it and the tentacles and stuff like that? I know it's like maybe a dying moon, whatever. I don't know. But there's something on that is making the infested react different to the infested that we've known. For example, Golem, right? Golem infected a cephalon, right? That's how it could communicate. We don't know what that planet's thinking, or whatever it is.
I call it my glob shot. It comes out of my trick hole.
I don't think there's any way to communicate. I think the only way that we can communicate is through the Entrati family, who are becoming consumed, who are becoming, like I said, it's only a matter of time before they fully become infested. Their biological clocks, as they know it, is dying. It's ticking. It's ticking before they become fully whatever it is they're supposed to be, or supposed to become, before they fully lose cognitive function and they become part of the half-man. And that is what's scary about Deimos. We thought the Golem was big, right? We thought the Golem was big, and I could be totally wrong. But when I look at that, that reminds me like the tentacle god out of Hellboy. I don't know if you guys have seen that. When in that part when they open the portals and the loads of tentacles coming through, that is what that reminds me of. Right, okay, so let me read these comments. So, Kai, I personally believe the worms are separate and they are in territorial dispute. Plus, living creatures can have parasites and the Entrati family are too connected, but are included into the half-man. Not yet. Not yet. So, the Entrati family, yes, although they are stuck in Deimos, they still have their own cognitive functions. They still communicate. Remember, they cut each other off. They cut each other off, and we had to basically build a bond with them and recreate the bond between each other. And it was only until you hit, I think, family, is it family that you hit on rank 5 Deimos, that they started to talk to each other again. And again, it's really weird how they travel about Deimos. They can be in the Necrolisc, which is the hub that we can walk around, and they're in those little pod things. When we go out into Deimos, they can also move around. So you can go and see Mother, and she can give you a vault to do. You can see Grandmother, and she'll give you some K-Drive stuff to do. They don't just grow legs and walk out of the Necrolisc onto Deimos. There's a way that they travel, and that's always intrigued me. That's always intrigued me.